YouTube, my beloved husband, kind Kingdom, fellow I-7 followers, and my helpful comments and subscribers. This is your helper leader, Maggie Negan, the Walking At Angle 27. How's everything today? So today's head of it is cosplayers should get a discount in conventions. So let's get to it. But before we start, guys, I want to all of you that's watching this video, if you guys really enjoy this video, press that like button. If you guys are new to my channel, for more Hellfire Club, yet smash and punch the subscribe button and ring notification for my upcoming vlogs, unboxing videos, upcoming merchandise announcements, and so much more, alright? And of course, as well, down in the description below, you can always follow me on my social media platforms such as X, Instagram, blog posts, Pinterest, Discord, and Twitch. And of course, down in the description below, please subscribe to my wonderful husband, Kind Kindness YouTube channel, guys. My husband is so fun and entertaining, so please check his latest videos on Silent Hill, the 31 Nights of Halloween, and so much more throughout the channel. And of course, follow him on social media platforms such as X and Instagram, and be a follow-up on his blog posts, you guys. My husband is so talented and unique and very skilled when it comes to drawing, but better yet, his writing is just like icing on the cake. It's just so unique and talented, and I am so proud of my hubby Wubby. I love you, Kami. So let's get back to cosplayers. So to all the cosplayers that's watching this video, and I'm gonna tell you guys this, right? Me, Megan Negan, is a cosplayer, and so is my husband, right? So we both like to dress up, and of course it's a nerd thing. We like to show off our wonderful costumes, and you guys can do it too. And it's a fun experience to attend these conventions around the world. It can be from New York Comic Con, San Diego, Florida, Oregon, even Virginia, or so much other places, especially in Europe and Asia, right? Cosplay is where people get to dress up and just having so much fun. And not to mention having swarm of photographers, young children that they get all crazy for, and they just want to take a picture or get to know you better. And for those who don't know, that cosplay is not just only a hobby, but it can also be a business. And there are some professional cosplayers around there. I can name only maybe one or two or maybe more. I can think of a top of my head, but the only cosplayer I really know that's very popular in the industry is mostly Yaya. If you don't know who she is, she's like a professional cosplayer. So if you guys seen her work, she pulled off a cosplay, and she just an inspiration for every cosplayer, mostly for females who want to have that kind of curvature, that sensuality of pulling off a very seductive cosplay. And she does pull it off really well, especially when it comes to detail. She has her own book of how to cosplay. She tells you how to make cosplays, and she's really skilled, and you guys probably see the pictures from there. I'm not trying to steal her photos, so don't quote me out of context from that or thinking I'm stealing. I'm not. I'm just giving her a shout out because I look up to her, and she's really talented, and she was currently a judge for these cosplay contests, and was like a host, or more like did a show based on cosplay, and this was on Syfy because Syfy was doing something based on cosplay. It was called Heroes of Cosplay, and they only did 2 seasons, unfortunately, because apparently the ratings did drastically went down because they thought that cosplayers were uncomfortable or something like that, or like they felt like it was just too much drama going on, not enough energy fulfilling the role of cosplay. But at the same time, I love the show, and it was always so cool to see other cosplayers with their craftsmanship and how they managed to do every detail very skilled. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, you guys, because for us cosplayers, what I mean by us, not just only me and my husband Kyle, but everyone that's a cosplayer or in the furry, community, they should at least, and I mean at least, have some kind of discount, or better yet, have some way of getting into a convention with a lower price. So why is it that we had to spend our paycheck money just to enter a building? It's like you go into a museum, basically, right? It's like you go to a museum, right? You see all these, interesting things, all these artifacts, history behind every little aspect of the artifact, and you see the paintings based on the culture, and you want to experience it. It's the same thing with cosplay, right? We're like a walking museum, and people go crazy, and there's a frenzy going on. And I understand the popularity is that, very big, and you guys can see it from New York Comic Con, because a lot of cosplayers will go crazy just to participate. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, I just feel like for us cosplayers, we work very hard to pull off these kind of material. And to tell you the truth, it is a lot of work because cosplay takes delicacy, it takes a lot of practice, and of course, it's about having fun. Some people take it too seriously, like over the top sometimes when people get very sensitive. I mean, I can understand that if you are making a character that has wings and you feel like if someone touches it, it will like make the feather come off, that I can understand. But if it's something like, okay, if the fabric is that very sensitive, I can understand. But if it's something like very easily that you can touch and you can have someone's permission, then you don't have to get overworked up by it, right? But getting back to what I'm trying to say about the discount thing, right? It's just that going to a convention alone is very expensive. Well, depending on where you're going. Like for instance, like for both New York Comic Con and NYC are very, very pricey. And I just believe that maybe, just maybe, if you're a cosplayer, like what I'm trying to say is that we should at least get some kind of coupon or discount because we work hard on our cosplays. We're not just doing this because, you guys want to see all these interesting outfits or props or whatever, but more like we worked hard on it because we spent a lot of money. And I mean, like, some cosplayers, mostly the majority of cosplayers who spend amount of time on their cosplays must take almost a month or a year to get the detail just like the character because it's a lot of money because some people will go to a fabric store and some of these fabric stores are very very not that that cheap. I've seen that the actual real material like either leather or nylon or cotton even they're asking like outrageous prices. This is why I can tell that it's like Project Runway material. Like you go to a runway in a fashion show. That's how expensive it is. It costs like I'm guessing in my opinion, it must cost like 50 per yard, and that's kind of like steep for a piece of fabric. And even though if you want to do leather, it probably costs you 90, depending on how many yards you're gonna be making. And this is coming from different fabric stores. I can name a few. I can say maybe Joan Fabrics, Mood Fabrics, and some others I can think of, but they're very expensive. And I can see why cosplayers are very struggling to find a cheap fabric store because nowadays they will either find fabric in their local thrift store or there's a fabric store that are very like affordable. They can like bend with the yards and stuff. Like one time, I can give you guys an example. Like when I was cosplaying as Princess Leia, right, for Comic Cons in 2019, right, and I remember I simply got a white fabric. I checked the material. I make sure it's one not transparent and two it better not be very rippable. What I mean by that is like it's avoids having any one of these fabrics to have like that kind of tear so it won't tear very easily. So I make sure I feel the fabric before I buy it. And the amount of yards I bought, I think I spent only barely $5. And I know you guys think, oh, that's very cheap. How you do that? I mean, there was a fabric store in my local bus stop. It's like right there next to a convenience store that you buy luggages and souvenirs and stuff. And the fabric store is like right there, and it's very affordable around my area, and it's very worth the price. And I'm not saying that particular fabric store is like these qualities in the city in Manhattan. I'm just saying I'm just doing what's best to like save money. And other than that, getting back to the convention, right? People as well who want to like have that kind of energy and participate in cosplay, you can do right ahead. If you're a beginner, there's like different levels of cosplaying, right? For me and my husband Kaim, I could say that we're kind of like in between a beginner and intermediate because we didn't even reach that far to becoming advanced because mostly we don't have Ava foam, we don't have these wonderful quality fabrics. We don't have these, props that really make you say wow or have that kind of factor that you're aiming for, because we're just doing the best we can to make everything at home, and sometimes we try to do it as the best we can to make it look realistic. But other than that, another thing with money is that all these pricing that's going up, it's not just only entering the convention itself, but mostly the cost of if you want to take a break from walking around the same booth over and over again. Food is very expensive. Like, for instance, if you're gonna buy hamburger with fries, that that freaking meal is like $20, I'm reckoning, right? I'm not trying to be dramatic, but this is how much it is in a convention, right? Like a bottle of juice or a smoothie may cost you $10. If you want to eat a snack like a bag of chips, it may cost you $2. It's crazy. I don't know how I dealt with it for the past few years of cosplaying, but I know for a fact by going to a convention and just get a decent meal is crazy expensive. You think going to a restaurant is expensive? Think about going to a freaking food court in the convention center. You can hardly find a seat nowadays. Cosplayers had to like sit on the floor. There's barely any tables. People are standing there in their cosplay, very delicate cosplay, and they had to be standing there for a long, long time. You think me standing a long time at a workplace and my knees are going to give out? Forget that. I'd rather find a chair or find one of these stools that, go, like, retract and, go back, back into casing, and I can, like, just walk around back to the rest of the booth. And getting back to the booths, right? If you guys seen how many booths in a convention, I gotta say, there's a lot. So you have, I'm guessing the bottom floor is where the autographs are, depending on which booth it is. Sometimes they have multiple sections of where you guys can sign autographs from celebrities to authors and to other things as well, right? And then after that, you go to these interesting booths where they sell merchandise, from body pillows to plushies to wall scrolls to posters to fan art, you name it, it's a lot. And it's huge, obviously. You guys can see, right? Credits to the person who's filming this convention. It's not me, by the way, but credits to him, by the way. He is very talented. I give a shout out to him because I wish I had that kind of quality camera to film that kind of point of view of how Comic Con looks. So this is the credit person right here, if you guys can see it through my screen. And I gotta say, this is the year of how Comic Con is very popular. This is what I'm talking about, how popular conventions can be when people cosplay, right? But other than that, it's just the cost of merchandise nowadays is more expensive too. Like, I know my friends and I spend nearly a lot of money, like $100 for even like merchandise alone, and some people go beyond that. Like they nearly spend make their credit card, decline because they want to spend money on statues. Like, guys, come on. I know you want a statue of My Hero Academia with Deku versus Bakugo versus All Might versus the Hulk and everything else. Is it worth it? Maybe to you, maybe, but to me, nah. I'd rather save my credit card for like bills to pay. If I want to spend that much money on that, I'm not gonna waste it on that. And getting back to autographs, right? Okay. When it comes to autographs, I think, in my opinion, I think the best way to get discount as well is by getting a coupon, by having a decent price for autographs. Because these celebrities, and I'm talking about both movie, TV, and anime. Because if you guys seen how much they cost, that's crazy expensive. Like, if you want to take a photo with Johnny Young Bosch, right? The last time I passed by his booth, he was asking $80 for a combo of autograph and photo op, and the rest was like 100 something. I'm saying this dude must be out of his freaking mind. Like, you're gonna like really gouge out my wallet when I want to spend it on other things, but you're really insane. I know you're popular in Power Rangers and Bleach, but nah. Mm-mm. And then if you go to other booths, like you want to see Peggy from Captain America, she probably costs nearly 200. You know, Sebastian Stan may cost like 300 to 600. And if you guys want to see Loki, Tom Hiddleston, he probably costs even more, like 110. Like, yikes, you know? Look, I know the ranking of these big stars is basically because of their popularity, and I'm not a moron. I know that it's because they're just so famous and they need to make a living. I know that. I know. But is it that worth it to be that expensive? Like, I know you had to make a living, but Jesus. Like, that's really high for someone that does all these movies, to be honest with you. I was thinking maybe you just lower the price just a tad bit. And I'm not saying for $1 or something like that. I'm talking about maybe make it reasonable. Because it's the same thing with voice actors. Like I said, it's like Johnny on Bosch, Bryce Papenbrook, you know, anyone in the voice acting industry is very, very expensive. Like for instance, if you were requesting, a voice from these voice actors, they charge you, man. They really charge you like an arm and a leg, and they still charge you for a poster, or even both a book and a poster, or even a combo of both photo and, whatever you want to think of. But this is crazy, honestly. And like I said, and this is an opinion video, you guys, so don't attack me when I say this, alright? I just feel like for those who are cosplaying, we deserve a discount. And for those who don't cosplay, and I'm talking about like photographers or anybody who doesn't want to dress up, they deserve to have the full price. And I know it sounds crazy, but that's my opinion because we really work hard in our cosplays or furry suits because we spend a lot of money making them. We sew, we hot glue everything. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think? Comment down below what do you guys think about the situation that should cosplayers should have a discount or not. So I want to hear your thoughts, alright? But other than that, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys really enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright, and of course, don't forget to be part of my husband Kind Kindred's Wolfpack by subscribing to his YouTube channel, alright? Love you, honey. So this is your help by leader Maggie Negan, the Walking Adventure 27 signing off. See you guys in the next video. Hope to see you in a cosplay convention. Bye. Peace out.